And today, I'm signing another bill that requires insurance companies to cover treatments for Lyme disease, already one of the most common infectious diseases in the nation. Lyme disease affects hundreds of Illinoisans each year, particularly in our farming communities. Yet gaps in coverage have let too many of them struggle to afford continuing care. Antibiotics and treatments for late-stage Lyme can be thousands of dollars for each patient, which without insurance coverage can be financially devastating for working families. With this new legislation, Illinois is declaring that insurance can no longer put up barriers against those living with Lyme disease. Both of these bills are really about fulfilling on one of the principles that I laid out for my administration. State government ought to be standing up for working families. Lowering the cost of prescription drugs and expanding healthcare coverage is one important way to help lower costs and build a standard of living that is higher than the one that people are experiencing today all across the state.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being here this afternoon. Governor Pritzker, we're changing Illinois. Illinois is a brighter day today because of the legislation. Representative Carroll's legislation is a wonderful thing for Illinois, and the Lyme legislation is just wonderful too. Illinois became one of only 10 states last year when we passed legislation to grant doctors immunity for treating patients with Lyme. That's how important this is. Last year we recognized the families that are struggling because they do not have the insurance that they need to help pay for their insurance coverage and their medical costs. Illinois is one of the leading states with moving forward with mandating insurance. Jennifer Russell, who you'll meet here in a little bit, we spent a lot of time on the phone talking to constituents and doctors in Texas. We spoke to people in Arkansas, Michigan, Missouri, all across the nation, of people saying, how did you do this? Well, it takes a team. It takes the 101st General Assembly, the House and the Senate to push this forward, and then on to the governor for him to sign this. So it's a great movement forward, and lives are going to change with this. I'd like to now introduce Jennifer Russell, who's the executive director of the Illinois Lyme Association, whose daughter, Lauren, who's with here today, suffers from Lyme disease. So I'm going to ask Jennifer to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Where you at? So this is my daughter, Lauren, and she has had Lyme disease since she was 7 and has suffered many ups and downs, but we are very grateful to say that she is doing very well at this point, and if she continues, she will be able to stop treatment in October. So, yeah, with tick-borne illness on the rise, with many emerging vector-borne diseases becoming a rising threat, this legislation is pivotal in the state of Illinois. Many in Illinois are suffering from tick-borne illness. Those with state-regulated insurance or private pay are, in most cases, only receiving 21 days of treatment. If they have been undiagnosed for any length of time, like Lauren was, treatment is much more complex. She was undiagnosed for 3 years. Many are losing their homes, their businesses, and their pensions to try to pay for their continued treatments, and this legislation provides them with desperately needed options. On behalf of the Illinois Lyme community, we just want to say thank you very much to Governor Pritzker for seeing the great importance of this legislation. Thank you to our chief sponsors, State Representative Dan Swanson and Senator Neil Anderson. I would also like to say a huge thank you to the 101st General Assembly for their overwhelming support to the Lyme sufferers in this state and their communities. We are grateful to you all. And thank you to the insurance company stakeholders for their willingness to be a part of this process. Thank you.